Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I'm one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Valchek. Lance, we are into the gay Nightmare on Elm Street.
I know. Is there like a fun title for this? Because isn't there Friday the Gay-teenth? Or what was the number 7 one for Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Is there any version of that for this?
I don't think so. It's just... I mean, they did the he's a scream queen, our lead Mark, and they did the actual movie, that documentary, Scream Queen. So, but otherwise, no, I don't believe there's one. But any of our listeners, they can let us know if we maybe missed out on the fun homophobic name that Nightmare on Elm Street has for its second entry, because we are today covering Freddy's Revenge. I'm not going to say my lineup because we're not getting into the actual movie yet. I want to get into our history with the film first.
Well, let's switch it up, my friend. Tyler, what is your history with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge?
So I used to have a website. I think it was called manofthemovies21.tripod.com. I believe if tripods are still up. The last I knew it was still up. It's the first website I ever made. And it had various things on it, and one of which was my favorite movies of all time, and the worst movies of all time, my least favorite films of all time. And I always remember there was 3 films that I would be ashamed that they're on this list nowadays. It was Halloween 5, which you probably agree with.
Yes.
Friday the 13th, Part 5. And which is hilarious because you know how much I love that. And Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, because there's a certain, I think as a impressionable youth, when a film comes along that is very different from the other entries, my dumb undeveloped brain can't appreciate the nuances and changes, and I'm more or less just like, what? Why am I not getting what I want? I want Freddy doing his thing in dreams. I want whatever, Michael hunting his sister. and not being in this weird mansion house. I want Jason attacking counselors that aren't or Jason actually being Jason. I actually started thinking of a different, I started thinking of Jason Goes to Hell there.
You're mixing your Fridays.
No.
Yeah, I it's funny you say that because I do think back when I was younger that I really couldn't appreciate, I could appreciate weird things, but it had to just be weird altogether. It couldn't be a weird variation of something that was meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had the same thing. I saw it as a kid, of course. Whenever I didn't see these in order. I never saw movies in order for these series I just always picked the coolest cover. Mm-hmm. But I do remember very specifically, this was the one that I almost never returned to because I was like, it doesn't feel like it. Even me thinking Freddy's Dead was goofy and kind of dumb, it still was a nightmare movie. So there's still things in there I like, but this was the one where I was like, yeah, it's kind of boring and it doesn't feel like a Freddy movie. And then that was it. My little kid brain. Now I've grown to appreciate it more, I'm sure, like you, and there are things that I find interesting, and my opinion's definitely softened. Though I should just state right off the bat, I still will never think it's a good Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but I do appreciate it as a weird side quest because I like that these exist as I've gotten older, like weird, throw everything on black and then it comes up red 20. It's like, I get it. So I'm glad it exists, and I would never want it out of a box set. That's where I really land, altogether. But I guess I'll save the rest for our conversation.
Do you imagine they have a 4K box set? It's like all the movies except for Freddy's Revenge.
But, Jason Goes to Hell could be removed on the other ones and I'd be fine. So, normally I'm not like that. But yeah, you should have all of them, even the shitty ones, because people love them. And I don't want my opinion being king. But we are going to get one soon, right? It's essentially confirmed without confirmed.
Yep. Comes out in September. Cannot wait. And even Jack Shoulder himself has really talked up this Freddy's Revenge release. In particular, the sound design I guess he was saying that because it used to be a mono track, and now they've like it's actually full surround. He even said that there are like music cues that he didn't even know were in the in the bedding, like in the track bed. So it's like, it'll be cool to be able to experience that. And I guess it's also just looks better color wise because that's another thing is the Friday the 13th series, the Halloween series, both got beautiful remasters, absolutely gorgeous remasters. Nightmare on Elm Street never did. The Blu-ray that was out was a real basic remaster. It didn't have the involvement of anyone, like any of the directors, cinematographers. It was just get this out and in 1080p. And so we didn't get another great Shout release that was actually a full-on remaster. So the fact that we're actually getting a remaster where the original directors are going in and checking stuff out, making sure it looks right. Obviously, we're not going to have Wes Craven to be able to do that, but thankfully some of the people production members are still alive and were able to approve that. I know I watched because the first film is already out on 4K. Looks great. Looks really, really good. I'm very, very impressed with it. So I cannot wait to see what the rest of the films look like.
Yeah, the later sequels are far more colorful too. So I'd be excited to see those like properly remastered in 4K.
Yeah, as much as you and I are crazy people and would love to get like Friday the 13th Part 6 in 4K, there's less of a desire. Like you don't need that as much as a Elm Street because the Elm Streets they care more about cinematography and the
cinematic.
Yeah. The photography.
Friday the 13th I love, but Blu-ray is good enough. They're in the fucking dark forest. Like there's not much we can do there, but this is one series where I'm like, over Halloween, this is a series where I'm like, this is what I want a gorgeous box set of. This exact series.
I mean, I love Halloween, but they have some well shot films, but it definitely falls more into, I don't know, more generic territory. Is it?
Yeah, not colorful. I want colorful. You know, it's like, Goodfellas is probably great in 4K, but Casino will be better because what's more colorful, you know? What's more vibrant? What has, visually more interesting? It's like one of the best 4Ks out there is
Jackie Brown.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was actually going to jump all the way to say Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You know, just something visually stunning.
Yeah.
But I should say this. I know. I think people came around in it. I've never liked Jackie Brown.
Oh wow. Maybe that's something that you can correct at some point in your life.
I don't know.
Because I think it might be Tarantino's best.
Oh, you're one of those guys. You're one of those 100%. Guys. Yeah,
it's in my top. It's in my top for Tarantino. I maybe Inglourious Bastards above, but yeah, I don't know. The more I think of it, the more I think you're just not as big of a Tarantino head.
Hey, could be.
You don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood either. Crazy.
No, it's just a bunch of driving. No. I mean, there's moments that I like. I would read it myself and take it, cut out like 45 minutes.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 with Freddy's Revenge. This released.
You're not gonna let me. You're gonna save it, huh? You're not gonna give me a little credit. Okay. We'll come back to that. I'll let you dunk at me a little and move on. Fair enough.
What do you need to defend yourself?
We'll get back to it. We'll save it for a thing because there's no way it's going to be short. It's fine.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, just released in 1985, directed by Jack Shoulder, written by David Chaskin from an idea by Wes Craven, or I think it's just based on the script by Wes Craven, like the original characters. Starring Robert Englund, Mark Patton, Kim Myers. We'll go Robert Russler, Clu Gulager, and where's the is it Tom McFadden? Is that the crazy guy? Is that the gym teacher?
No, gym teacher is Marshall Bell. He's Coach Schneider, I believe.
Marshall Bell. That was the one I was looking for. His IMDb photo is like really zoomed out, so could not tell. But yeah, he which also isn't he Kato in Total Recall or Watto?
Yes. I don't know the name, but yes.
Yeah, the thing with the weird thing that comes out of him. But yeah, this is a weird film. I feel like the opening sets up right away that this is not the same tone as the first film, like in any way. You really just have to see it as something else.
Yeah, I mean, ironically my favorite scene as a kid was the opening because as a kid, as a school bus, I do love the idea, but it's become more apparent over time just how it's filmed and how we're showing Freddy. It's like, yeah, we've jumped from Jaws 1 to Jaws 3 like right away. Even Jaws 2, you kind of hold off on the shark for a little bit. This one, it's just like he's like in full display. Outside of maybe a couple shadings of the face, it's just like how he moves is very like in your face, all on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. It always depends on my mood, but I forget how just 180 this is compared to the first, and just in terms of like the feel. Even if the rules weren't changed and had the same characters, just the feel of this is so strange.
It almost feels like Canon got the rights and made a movie.
Yes. But like oddly competent Canon too.
Yeah.
Like there's like but I see what you're saying. Like the pool scene at the end, that's a Canon scene.
Yeah, this is over the top Canon.
Yes,
where it's like they're still competent enough to make a movie, but it just doesn't really connect with the other kinds of movies that it's clearly trying to ape off of. Like it's so different. Like, but that's the weird thing about it. It's so different from the first movie and the rest of the franchise, but it still lays down the groundwork a bit. Like it's not. It breaks some rules, but it still doesn't feel like. It's not to the point where with part 3, it felt like they had to erase part 2. It's more that like, just ignore that. Just it happened, but we just don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, I think the weirdness to me is that it's trying to keeps all the elements of a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but it changes the core principles of like the dreams and stuff. So it's essentially like I always think this: the house is a focus. Kind of like how at the very end, was it Resurrections for Halloween? It's not Michael's done killing family members. So he's just gonna like hang out the house. Mm-hmm. The house is the fortress of solitude. So now this is the house that Freddy haunts, and it's not really about dreams as much as just about like he's an entity that like sort of hangs out this house. Is in the house. It's around the house, and now possesses people. So we're changing core tenets, but it's still laid out in the same way that we had in the first one.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so strange. Like they didn't completely change it. They kind of kept it in house. It's almost like they did a soft reboot of the first one. Okay, let's do the same movie, but instead of a guy killing you in your dreams, let's make it like a demon in the house that possesses you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's like watching it. They watched the first film and went, so Freddy is using Nancy to reach all of her friends. Or like he's trying to like essentially spanning off from like, or I guess that might be something that more gets introduced in part 3, but it's more of like, so Freddy's essentially in this movie deciding that, okay, rather than just attacking a bunch of teenagers, he's going to focus on one and have that one person be the person that he possesses to then be able to attack more teenagers. So it's like, it's a similar concept that comes later on, except rather than where it is later on, where it's like, oh yeah, you just meet, he pulls people, like he haunts Kristen, and then through Kristen, he's able to contact these other kids that then he's able to kill. We eventually get there, but this weird detour of like the real world and possession, it's very strange.
I mean, can you imagine? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, he doesn't kill anybody in a dream in this movie. So it's like the thing that made the first one so iconic is not in this. Yes, like Mark is dreaming, at moments, but we're not killing anybody in dreams. We're just Freddy's becoming Mark and killing him. So it's like, It's strange to them to like walk away from, I think, what made the first movie so unique. But also, I guess this is why this was hated for so long, because that is a pretty big detour. It's like it's kind of, shall I say, not as far of a reach, but in the same ballpark as maybe having Jason be a worm that possesses people.
Yeah.
Or I guess possession would be the word, but like orally gets into you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think this movie essentially taught them what not to do, because we'd never see another male lead, and Freddy would never come into the real world unless forced and powerless, which is what Freddy should be if he's forced into the real world.
Yes.
This breaks all of those rules. And it also, there's a weird, we see it nowadays with legacy sequels where it's like this just dumb connection to the first film, where it's just Jesse's living at 1428 Elm, and he's literally living inside Nancy's old bedroom. It's like,
and that's all it is. It's the house.
That's all it is.
The house.
Just so dumb.
I always think that to me is like a budget thing. Like, we want to pay the cast to come back. It's so expensive. We could just rebuild the house, dude. Let's just say the house has a connection now. It's like, I guess. And the thing is like, as a standalone, this story isn't bad. The ideas in here aren't bad. The problem is that part one was better and more unique. Like, this movie kind of already existed.
Yeah.
I mean, Amityville existed. They're like things that are hunting a house and getting in people exist. So I think it's fun to see Freddy. And I'm happy that we've had so many cool sequels and we can look back on this. But it is strange to think that they actually went a less unique route when they already had something that was kind of set up and they just had to follow it. It's I don't know. Showed you Bob Shea really didn't know what he had. And I think this is the movie that taught him what he had,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that Bob Shea constantly had to learn the lessons of like, oh no, how can I keep this cash cow going? Because all of his base instincts always seem to be like to crash and burn the franchise.
Yeah. They fired Robert Englund and hired a stunt guy, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then had to fire the stunt guy and bring up Robert Englund because they want to pay Robert the money he asked for. It's like,
yeah,
really?
Which you can see on the Never Sleep Again documentary, the section on Freddy's Revenge. They have footage showing the old stunt man. It's in the shower scene, and he's so stiff and lifeless. And yeah, it's like, yep, they made the right choice to bring back Robert Englund.
The fact that they thought they could, like, Jason, I get, even if I disagree at times. Michael, I get, but it's like this guy had lines, had tone of voice, and you thought you could replace him. I don't know. It's cute looking back now from 1985, thinking like that was even an idea in someone's head.
Yeah. I have a question for you, because something came up when I was watching this that I hadn't really thought about before. Do we think that these other girls in the opening nightmare are real and having this dream too? Because there's two girls with him, and they look terrified. Like, they don't look like just another element of this world.
I mean, I never thought about it. Because if we were watching any other movie, then yes. But this movie, I would say they can't be, because it's not about the dreams. So they just happen to, they have to just be avatars, right?
Yeah.
Just NPCs.
Well, I mean, what they should have done is, it's like, because you can essentially, because what happens is Freddy swipes away and it's like, oh, it goes to Mark waking up. Those girls are in front of Mark. So what they should have done, Mark goes into the school and it's like, did you hear what happened to Terry and Barb?
Oh, they died.
Where it's just like, yeah, they both just died in their sleep. No one knows. It's like, you can have like a thing set up for them. Something basic like that to show like, oh, yep, Freddy's already been killing people. He's in the midst of it. It also has it already brings in the connection to the first film, because in the first film, we find out after Tina's nightmare that, oh, everyone's been dreaming this. Glenn, Tina, Nancy, like they're all Rod, all of them have had dreams about Freddy. So then it's like it would then further lean into that. But instead, it's like you said, nope, this is a haunted house. And Jesse, guess what? Jesse lives in the house, so he's the one that's haunted.
I mean, I think you're thinking competently how to like connect this. For some reason, the writers, I never even looked at who wrote this, because it was, I don't think it's knocking out of the park. It's ignoring and changing the core tenets, which is like usually the thing you don't do. Like, you mess around with everything else but that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But again, we could have had a better movie, but then I do appreciate this being just kind of weird, strange, and the black sheep of the series. I do. I mean, I appreciate it now. Living through this must have been hell. I always say that. It's like there's artists that I love that have like 7 bad albums, which if you think about it is 14 years. If it's in every other year they do an album, which is still kind of rare. I don't want to live through that. That's hell. I'd break my heart. But you and me get to look back at a catalog and just go, that's what a whack entry on to number 3. Like living through this would have sucked. Yeah. So I feel bad for those people. I'm glad I get it now, but no, I mean, well, this did well too, which is strange. They said that if this didn't do well, it would have put New Line under.
But you know
underwater.
that it's that rule. Remember, it's always the bad movie then affects the next film. It's why Jason Lives was affected by part 5.
5, yeah.
And that's why Jason Lives. Yeah, and that's why Jason Lives even happened in the first place, because it box office wise, we didn't have the negative reaction because people saw it expecting another Friday the 13th. It wasn't until Jason Lives where they're like, God damn it, is this even Jason again? Are they lying to us?
Yeah. Yeah, so it did well, but I mean, I'm assuming critically or at least the fans, somebody had to bitch for them not to just continue on this path.
Yeah.
So, there's so many things in here that we could talk about, that there's moments that, like, there's elements that, if we would have changed it here. Like, I love, like, he should have, in my perfect movie, right? Let's say we're going through the rules. We're actually making this a proper Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I would have liked this, like the scene with him and, oh my gosh, what's his name? Ron, I think the guy's name's Rob. So Rob and Ron, it always messes with me. Like in his bedroom, right? I would have loved the idea that like he kills him in the dream, right? But in the dream, we make it think like that Jesse is actually doing. You could do the twist, like make it a dream, but Jesse's not knowing he's dreaming, and trick him that he killed his friend, and then he wakes up. Like we could add elements of that, but still kept it in the same world that we belong. Like stuff like that could have worked. But the possession thing just means that Freddy's not killing the dream, and then it's stupid. Let's be honest. It's stupid. Yeah. It's fun now. We could have a good time. There's a coach getting his ass slapped. I think the gore effects, or at least some of the body effects, are fun. But we are definitely deprived of the thing we love the most, which is cool dream kills.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. They don't provide us that. And it's easily the best part of the movie, or the franchise, I should say, is when they actually do that. This is something I literally paused the movie and started taking notes of all the crazy breakfast that this family has.
Fu Manchu.
The Fu Manchu cereal. There's a plate of cut up tomatoes. There's then eggs. I'm like, what? Who is eating? Who's eating this? This breakfast is insane.
Cereal, tomatoes, and eggs, which like a lot of oil too in those eggs. You notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a health nut, but it's like you could do a little less oil.
It's like fried eggs, essentially.
Yeah.
Like not a classic fried egg. I mean, like literally, like practically throw it in a
deep fryer.
Yeah, deep fryer. Like way too much. I'd never realized it, and I actually didn't notice the Fu Manchu until this viewing. Like, ooh, is that an actual cereal?
No, that can't be.
It looks fake.
It's hilariously 80s racist. My favorite kind, actually. Like, yeah, good for them. So it's just like, put some Chinese guy on the cover, call it a day.
Had some kind of thing, some kind of toy in it.
Yeah, it's for they just need a cereal to have the fingers, then give Mark a flashback of his scary dream.
Yeah, well, but there's even there's decorations on the wall, and one of them looks like a dick.
I didn't notice that. No.
Yeah, it's in the same shot as the Fu Manchu. But then I'm just like, why? What is this?
Rush decor, right? Isn't that it? Didn't the designer quit and they had to get some sort of guy for cheap to rush the movie? So it probably is a dick.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but even looking around, I need to take a screenshot of this. That way I know that I have it. Because it even has a thing. It says call Rhonda on a little blackboard, in the kitchen. It says call Rhonda.
Interesting. There's no Rhonda in the movie, no?
No. So I like stuff like that. It if anything, it kind of makes me think, oh, they did a good job with filling out this filling out this world, this production design.
With dicks and racist cereal. I love it. My favorite kind. Well, since we're getting to the one of the moments where we finally get like Freddy and Jesse meeting, I'd like to discuss his look with you, because as many issues as I have in this movie, Kevin Yeager took over the design, and I think it's my favorite.
Really?
I mean, I'm yeah. And in terms of just the look, the extended brow bone, the red eyes, like it's less circly in the face. I don't know, circly is the word I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's angular.
Yeah, it's more just kind of shiny and melted. I don't know.
When you're seeing,
I've always vibed
cheekbones too.
Yeah. How his bones are protrude more, so it gives him this. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they said, and Yeager said if he wanted to do more of a witch thing, I think his hook nose. I like it. I wish we could have had this in a better movie. This is also, I think, the last time we used like the computer generated, like, or I shouldn't say generate, the computer altered deep voice. Because I feel like 3 on, it's pretty much just Robert Englund's voice, maybe slightly adjusted, but this, he has that voice like this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they go hard.
There's something.
I think they always modulate his voice a little bit.
Yeah, but at the first two, it's like,
it's intense.
It's almost like a demon. Yeah, where it's like the lighter ones, it's like, I'm Freddy. Or it's like, it's just interesting because as a kid, the bigger ones are that voice. So when I watch 1 and 2, I'm always like, oh yeah, I forget he's
how much, because you and I deal with audio, how much do you think it could be the same exact kind of preset that they use, but it's just England's tonality that changes? Because he's much more subdued in the first 2 films, and then it's more comical and over the top in the other ones. So maybe that same effect is on it. It just doesn't come through as much.
Keep that same effect if they couldn't keep the makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the guy was just like, it's -10 on this, but like it's a different program. I mean, I don't know, but it's just funny to think that the first 2 are definitely going for that demonic kind of thing that again, I haven't seen 3 in a while. I've been holding off because I've always loved it and I want to kind of go in fresh. So I could be wrong. Let's see what happens. But in my mind, I feel like this is the last one that he has it. So clearly I'll eat my words next week if that's not true. But I still love his look, man. I like the look here. I really wish this look was in a better Freddy movie. I really do. It sucks that it has to be a non-Dream Freddy, but I do appreciate them kind of keeping him as creepy as possible.
See, I'm conflicted with the look because I do agree that I think the makeup itself is really good. I don't like how it's shot. Even the "you've got the body, I've got the brain" moment with him and Jesse in the hallway. I mean, I have it paused right now. I can't see the details of his face. I cannot see. I can see his brain, but I cannot see the details of his face. It's so dark. So part of me appreciates that because it then keeps the Jaws element of like, oh, well, even though he's there, technically we're not fully seeing him. It's not like full lighting, but there's something where I'm like, I need to be able to see a little bit more. I need to be able to see his eyes, which I don't see his eyes. Like everything gets lost in blackness.
Yeah, so you make a good point. I think that's a good thing we should talk about, which is my issue with how this is filmed is like, I like the scene, but now that I have it paused, you make a good point. I'm hoping though, with an upgrade, maybe this is just like, it's not, maybe we're getting a shitty quality version of it. That being said, the problem is later on in the movie, you do get to see his face a lot more, but he's also in bright kitchen lighting and he looks like an idiot. So like when we finally get to see the makeup in its glory, Freddy himself is being a goofball. He's like struggling on the floor with Lisa. He's at the pool party, which is just stupid in general. So I feel like when they do show the makeup, it's Freddy not being scary. It's him being way too active. I guess so. It's like we don't get scary makeup and cool scenes, and in the cool scenes we can't see the makeup. So I guess we don't really win here, do we?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I never really put 2 and 2 together because I like the makeup design, especially when you see it in the behind the scenes stuff, and because you were saying that like wasn't circular. This angular. I like that you could like his hook nose, his cheekbones. There's that you don't see as many angles on his face later on, So if anything, it makes me wish there was more dynamic lighting going on for him, because it would have made his face more interesting. Just, I don't know. It seems like I'm not a Jack Shoulder fan, so I put the blame on him.
Yes, he seems like a really nice. I feel bad at it because it's one of those guys that he's done fun movies before. You know, like I like Wishmaster 2.
He did Alone in the Dark.
I like The Hidden. What's up?
He did Alone in the Dark, right?
I never saw Alone in the Dark. I don't know.
I could be wrong.
He probably did. If you think it, I know him from Wishmaster 2, The Hidden, this.
Nope, I'm wrong.
Though none of those movies are, I think, amazingly directed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I enjoy them. They're fun as hell, but you know, they're not winning any awards.
Yeah, a little bit of a connection. He directed the Tremors TV series.
Yeah, but the one in like the 2000s.
Yeah, the 99 it looks like. Or no, 2003.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. As somebody who loves Tremors, like I could not. It's like it feels like a USA sci-fi. It has like that camera. It's not good.
Oh yeah, based on what I'm seeing. But hey, Michael Gross. What? Michael Gross is in it as Burt Gummer.
He's in all of them. He like carried the series on his shoulders. So as much as I have issues with anything, it's like I'm glad that it kept him employed, dude. Because he's saved the series. He kept it going, man.
That's crazy. Fucking good on him.
Yeah, Michael Gross, what a good guy. Great guy. I interviewed him once. Sweetheart, absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, you got to tell him how much you love Tremors, didn't you?
Yeah, and we talked about like he's a big Cubs fan, and I was telling him on Bridgeport, and he's like, I love the whole city, and he talked about like hanging out in places and just to be like cool, just like you've done a lot of interviews, like once in a while somebody wants to talk to you as opposed to like just being very pleasant. Like you get like a 20-minute interview when it should have been 10. That was that guy for me. That moment, just like, oh, let's hang out and chat. Like, oh, Michael Gross.
That moment where you're like, wait a minute, you're not trying to shovel something to me. You're just wanting to make a genuine connection right now. This is cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you get it. You know what's going on.
Yeah, it happens few and far between, but the times that it does happen, it's always really, really awesome.
I was gonna say, I did your interview with Michael Hall, and I felt like that was exactly with you, where he was just like hanging out, fucking chatting.
Yeah, He's about the only person I'd be like, yep, he'll remember me the next time I see him. I wanted to ask.
I want to ask you something real quick.
Let's do it.
This happens right after the scene. It's at 1807, right? We got Lisa, Miss Kim Myers, swimming her pool. Now, I don't know why this bothered me so much.
The distance?
But you're fucking telling me that this house has an entire backyard.
Dude!
And then the pool starts?
Dude, how the fuck do we have the same note? I never have noticed this before.
No, until right now, I'm like, wait a second.
It made me think, like, do we think that this pool is like a different property? Like, as in they own
two lots. They have to.
But even, you would think so. But I just mean even like filming wise, production of like, does this mean that like they got the house and then, but they didn't have a pool, but the house next door had a pool. So they're just
shot backwards.
Yeah. So they just shot it where they're like, oh, well, we'll just make sure that it looks that's the only thing in the background. You can't see another house.
Logistically, you're right because of where the fence is. Like the fence doesn't make sense. But I was just bothered because like the fact that they're selling this as one house, I'm just like, how rich is Lisa's parents that they have an entire yard and then they decided to add like a pool and like a cabana. I'm like, what? I got upset. I was like, she would be in a private school. What the hell? She wouldn't be in public school with everybody else. This level of wealth, come on, man.
I mean, and I know that this is Springwood, Ohio, but like they filmed this in LA. So I really want to know how much this house is legitimately worth these days, because it has to just be millions.
I mean, and the fact that this is, I always forget it's in Ohio because I know Ohio doesn't have their school lockers outside because it snows and gets cold. And all these lockers are like, they're like hanging outside. Yeah, it's they're pulling that shit again.
Yeah.
But I was just flabbergasted by the fact that I never noticed that the pool wasn't in the backyard. It was like 300 feet away.
She has to make a trek. The mom has to make a trek to get there. Like it is far away. Which, speaking of Lisa, how insane is it how much this girl looks like Meryl Streep?
Oh, dude, I know that's why she was hired, but it is like we missed out on them not having her play a younger Meryl Streep like in the 90s. like Meryl Streep, and then like there's a flashback, and you hire Kim Myers. I mean, you could tell for this being, I think this her first movie, right? Or if it's not, it's very early.
Yeah.
She's a good actress. I could tell, even if she's kind of clunky in this. That's the script. I could see her being a good actress.
100%. I mean, that's why she had a career, or I guess technically still going to this day. She was in something in 2022.
She must have married somebody rich, though, not to have to work.
Yeah, especially because it's pretty sporadic. So she definitely, that's always one thing I love to see, where it's like you see these hustling actors, where it's like these people who are in like multiple TV shows a year and this, that. And then you see they like suddenly stop, or like there's like the trickling of it. And a lot of the time you look into it, it's like, oh, they got married and suddenly they didn't have to do the grind anymore. Good for them.
Yeah. I want to retire. I want to retire now.
Yeah.
I'm done with life, and I'm only late 30s.
Yeah. Retirement. That's something that is never going to come.
I'm glad we both were bothered by the pool, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. Even when you even brought up, because I'm like, I almost deleted my note when I initially made it, because I'm like, this is such a stupid thing to bring up.
No, it would be in the backyard. The fact that it's not means she's super rich, and I was like, why? And it just didn't make sense. I mean, I'm not dogging on it because it doesn't make sense. I'm just like, I love that Lisa being a millionaire is not part of the script. Like, that should be a big thing. We could have used Lisa's millions and done something fun.
Yeah.
Fucking pool, like in the second lot.
Yeah. Gorgeous girl that clearly just has this random fascination with Jesse, where it's like, Jesse, you don't even realize how good you got it. But also it's because.
Yeah. They're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse's not putting any of the work. I mean, Miss Lisa Weber, Miss Weber is putting all the effort. She wants Jesse Walsh bad.
Yeah.
And Jesse is just, he's not interested. He's not. I mean, Ron's more Jesse's pace.
I love too, because like I've always heard like people being like, oh yeah, I feel like he has more chemistry with Ron than Lisa. And there's part of me that's like, yes, I think Mark Patton absolutely just has more chemistry with a guy versus a girl. But I don't think the guy that plays Ron, I don't think he plays it even slightly gay or even trying to hint at it, which
Ron plays it straight.
Yeah. Nowadays you would 100%, you would just lean into it and like, I don't know.
You'd have a scene where like he'd smile, or there'd be something like subtle or at least a one-off where you could use that as like was that scene. No, he plays it like a jock.
Yeah. Completely straight and narrow, ironically. But I want to talk about the bedroom dance, because it's I think the gayest moment of the movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, after you see it as like a teenager on, you realize how gay it is. And then as a kid, though, I was just like, this is lame. It's so cute that as a kid, and I think that's how it should be. You don't really, shouldn't view things as sexually, just view it as like odd. But it's like, it's so gay that I'm impressed that it's in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, even when they do like there's the shot when Lisa comes, like, because it's everything about it is embarrassing. I mean, I know, I'm sure I did some stupid things as a kid in my room, but I was also always super aware of others in the house. And Jesse seems to have no spatial awareness.
I was gonna say spatial awareness.
Yeah, and it's so uncomfortable. Then there's like the sign on his door that says "No out of town chicks," which then makes me go, "It's not no chicks, no out of town chicks." So he's okay with his mom and his sister coming into his room, but no outside girls.
Yeah, no, Lisa. I mean, that probe thing. I mean, it is one of those things where they're not being subtle. It's just strange that, this went so long without really being called on it. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's a teenage boy, he's not interested in the girl, the sign of the no outside town chicks, probe, the grinding with the little pop thing. I mean, I think it's a great scene because it's so goofy. And then they immediately try to then have it tied into the first one with the diary, which wasn't like hidden anywhere weird. It was just like in the closet on the top shelf.
Dude,
like,
did you ever realize on watching this film in the past that Lisa does fucking everything? She's the one that finds Nancy's diary. She's the one that finds the boiler room where Freddy used to work. She's the one that saves the day in the end. Like, with a better structure, they could have psychoed this with Lisa being our true lead, but they never go through with it. And Mark is still positioned like he's the lead, even though it's like, no, Lisa's the one that's doing all the final girl stuff.
Yeah, Lisa should have been the lead only because, I mean, well, not only, obviously made a point that she literally leads the entire story. She's like, we get the point A to B because of Lisa. But she seems tougher and more resilient where, you know, Jesse is just played so weak and feeble. It's, I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of progressive in a way because in that time period, the girl would have played Jesse's part and been like, no, I can't do it. You know, for the most part, I mean, I'm you know, even Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, yeah, at the end she toughens up, but I mean, she's running and scared the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm not out of my mind saying that the sexual or the sex of the roles are reversed.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, so it's cool in that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm more annoyed because it's like, well, we got a cool lead right next to us who's doing everything I want to do. But I keep cutting back to Jesse Walsh, like crying and screaming.
Yeah. He's just such a bitch. I mean, I guess, okay, because this happens right before the S&M scene. So what's your feeling of the bird freak out? Like this leans into your haunted house theory.
So when I think it was the documentary where they said it's supposed to be like a demonic looking bird. Yeah. Which would have been more interesting. The problem with that scene is it's executed in such a corny way that to me, I cut it out. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't, like, I mean, what does it really do? Like it's selling that the house is weird, but we're selling that after as well with the record melting and Jesse having all this weird shit, seeing Freddy in the basement. Yeah. So it doesn't do anything except for just sort of take the movie down a notch. I've never liked it. And maybe if I was like high more, I find it funny, but it's just one of those things that, yeah, maybe on paper it sounded better, but how they do it is so bad. I'm surprised it wasn't cut because it just seems like the director's like, that's more scared, swing harder. And then they cut to just some stupid thing on a wire exploding. I never liked it. No. And I think I hate it more this time because I was jet lagged when watching this movie. I felt more annoyed.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you feel it's appropriate for the movie or?
I think it's so fucking random and out of nowhere, but I think just like the dancing scene, it's what makes this entertaining. It fits it into the so bad it's good side. Though the thing that's conflicting with this film is that it does seem to make it makes decent points, but then doesn't know how to fully stick the landing because, like, you're talking about the gender swapped leads. That's interesting, but they don't know how to present it or break it down in an interesting way. It's more of just like they came up with this idea of just switching them and then that's it. Like, okay.
Yeah, we're going to follow the second character the entire time. Which, yeah, would be interesting if we're doing Big Trouble in Little China and they were always together and she was doing stuff, but she disappears for big chunks. Yeah. So now I'm just stuck with the secondary character that doesn't have any like good emotional beats.
Yeah. And just, I mean, he's just a bitch. I mean, this is, I would say, the biggest indicator that Jesse, it clearly has some, I don't know, homosexual tendencies. It's that him randomly going out to the queer S&M bar, seemingly to find his gym teacher. Because I don't know why the fuck else he would go out there. Grady already told him a couple scenes earlier that coach he hits up queer S&M bars and he must like you.
He likes pretty boys like you.
Yeah. So it's like, it seems like he's going there to try and fuck the gym teacher.
I mean, the movie presents it as he's just like super stressed and needs a beer. But the problem is then the argument is, why would he go there?
Yeah, why there?
Yeah. And also he's underage, right? I mean, in 1985, you'd be 21, I assume, right?
Yeah. Though, I mean, I didn't grow up in that period, but I do know that it was easier to like just
Okay.
drink in a bar.
So let's just say it's 18 for the sake of the movie.
Yeah.
That bar in particular is weird.
Yeah.
And the fact that he goes back with the coach of the school. I don't know. Like, I think that's why I think Jesse's a bitch. Like, it's not the screaming as much as that there's certain things where it's like, even I understand you're scared like of this crazy demon monster. Fair enough. But there's moments where you should have a backbone and you don't, which is the coach grabbing your wrist I know it's to lead us back to the school to have a kill.
Yeah.
But I'd been like, fuck you. You're not working right now. How about this? Let's get everybody here. Who's going to get more trouble? Me drinking at a bar or you at a gay and S&M bar or, gay and lesbian in 1985?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the actual thing? So it's just, I felt that was always a weird transition to get him to the school. In fact, let's fix it right now. He never goes to the bar. He just wanders and then wakes up and he's in the gym class. The coach, I don't know, let's just say the coach is working late. Like, what the hell are you doing here? I can't stand you and your loud mouth. You're always messing around and causing me trouble. 5 laps. That at least I could be like, yeah, he somehow woke up in school. He's scared. He's getting in trouble. But him going to the bar is just to tell us that this movie is, should we say, it can't be undertones. It was overtones, but
Yeah.
it's a gay movie. Which again, I like that he goes to the thing. It's super weird because as a kid, I didn't get it, and as an adult, I'm like, that's so wacky. We put this in. But if we're talking about logical movie steps, that is a scene that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I agree. It's so stupid and out of nowhere. But I mean, I like the idea of this. I like the idea of the coach being whipped and essentially humiliated in his own setting, like the place that he usually does the humiliating. Like, that's fun.
Yeah. He's like a, what's the word for that? It's not dom. It's
sadist. Is it masochist?
No, but isn't there like in S&M, like when you're the guy in the ground getting
Gimp?
whipped by the girl?
You're a gimp.
It's a gimp. I don't know. There's something. Or it's just funny because you're right. He's like dominant and
dom and a sub.
Is it sub?
Yeah.
All right, well, he's dominant in his real life and sub in his personal life.
Submissive.
That's
Domineering and submissive.
I think that's to me a witty little thing to write in. But again, like you said, the kernels of good ideas are here, but execution's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because he gets his ass whipped and then just sliced in the back.
Yeah, just sliced in the back.
And we never even noticed as kids that ass whipping was a little off. I was like, oh, interesting. What a weird thing to do, Freddy.
Yeah, there's a couple man asses in this. Because there's also Jesse. He randomly gets his pants pulled down when they're playing baseball. Where it's like no wonder people consider this to be gay. Because I'm not shocked too that this is because based on that Scream Queen documentary, which is about Mark Patton. Like, yeah, there was
great.
Well, yeah, it's a great documentary, but apparently there was a ton of gay guys that like this movie helped them essentially see themselves. So it's like little moments like that. I'm glad that this is the gay movie and that they're able to essentially have their own film within the Friday the 13th that then it's not, or within Nightmare on Elm Street, then it's not a it's just a part of the story. It's gone away from the negative connotation. It's more of just, it's more when you call it the gay Nightmare on Elm Street in the 2000s, that was kind of like also commenting on its quality. Nowadays, it's like, no, it's literally just the gay one. Like, there's gay stuff in it.
I remember when that happened. It had to be, was it late 2000s or early 2010s? But where like there was an entire, like it was a big shift. It was way before the documentary came out, but I remember being around for that where like there'd be these big articles coming out about like, I think even Cracked.com was like, the Nightmare on Elm Street movie you didn't realize was gay. And then like it pointed out all these things. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. But it was a celebration. I'm okay with that. And I think that's actually really healthy because exactly. I could tell you as a guy, every movie that had boobs in it when I was a kid because I didn't have a phone that didn't exist. There was no porn. So it's like, I know that Weekend at Bernie's 2, when he's getting dragged on the beach, there's boobs. I know Puppetmaster 3, there's boobs. Critters 2, there's boobs. So it's like, yes, every kid has that. So I'm super glad that people found joy in this one. And after watching that documentary, you really felt bad because Patton was not a bad guy. He was just chilling out, trying to do his job. And that this essentially ruined his career. And then, he got blamed for it. And you got Jack Shoulder, who I believe just to be a sweetheart, but just completely in over his head because he's like, I had no idea. It's like, I believe you, Jack Shoulder, that you just shoot this movie. Like, okay, I guess there's an ass in this. Well, guys, clear the set.
Yeah.
But Patton went through some shit, and I remember being moved by that documentary that that this got its resurgence and became like a midnight movie, and like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I might have issues with a lot of movies and with this one as well, but as I said, I wanted the box set, and I definitely don't want people's careers ruined because the sequel sucks and get harassed.
Yeah.
That's loser mentality.
I mean, one of the really intriguing through points in the Scream Queen documentary is Mark Patton wants closure. He wants an apology from David Chaskin, the writer of this film, because of the comments that he made during Never Sleep Again. Because it was essentially him going like, "What? How the fuck would he not think it was a gay movie?" It's like, yeah, it was all intentional, blah blah blah. So then it was, and it's very satisfying. You get the apology, and it's just a very
essentially
well done.
When the movie was made, and in the early years, he denied it. It became a celebrated thing, and people were like kind of having fun with it, and it became positive. And then he jumped on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, of course. So yeah, he kind of comes off like a douchebag.
Yeah.
And even when he gets confronted, like all he had to do is been like, hey man, times are different. I'm so sorry. Like, that's really all it was.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a bad guy. I mean, I don't know him, but my view has always been, yeah, in 1985, you're not going to be open about that. You're going to have to be real cool and sort of under the radar.
Yeah.
But he comes off like a douche.
Yeah.
Shoulder comes off far better in that movie.
100%.
Because he comes off just as like an old man who has no idea.
Yeah, he just comes across as someone, he's empathetic to Mark Patton's situation, but it also is just like, oh, I didn't realize. I'm very sorry that was the case. So yeah, highly recommend it. It should be on Shudder for those that are interested. It's just phenomenal. And I mean, speaking of of a topic we bring up a lot on the show, in that documentary, Mark Patton mentions he was a lover of David Bowie.
Yeah. Bowie fucked everybody, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
But I remember when it came up, I was like, oh, fuck. That's an interesting little connection. Bowie has a connection with the Elm Street series.
Which means, like, that's during his, like, Let's Dance era. It's like, oh. Because he was married to Iman, and I think in the 90s, early 90s. So it's like, good for Bowie. Get out a couple more chambers before he settles down.
Well, I want to talk about Lisa's parents because I think they may be the coolest parents in existence. They're letting their daughter have this big pool party, and their big rule is it needs to wrap up by 12:30. Like, what?
Yeah, they let them just hang out and fuck and drink beer. I was like, good. And they just they have a whiskey glass for bed as well. But I was thinking, like, what my thought was is, they're cool parents, but how lucky is Lisa to have a pool so far away from the house that having a party would actually give her, like, it wouldn't bother the parents as much. You could do what they're doing. So what happens when they turn off the lights, go to bed? They all start making out and drinking beer. And it's like, God bless.
And I always, when I was a kid watching this, I always went, wait, but they acknowledge they can hear it. Why do they not go? But the distance between the pool and the house, suddenly it just makes it where it's like, oh, yeah, they hear it, but it's not like banging in their ear like it would be if they were right next to the house. So
a couple of box fans probably wouldn't hear much.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I like that element because also too, this pool party just looks like it would be fun.
And the first one, the parents are so just abusive and terrible and just not there for the kids. The fact that they're like, okay, do whatever you got to do, but wrap it up. And then he has a whiskey in bed. I'm like, these are my guys, dude. These are my guys.
They're the best. I don't know. I love that whole.
So Jesse's dad's a dick, though.
Oh yeah, Clu Gulager.
You know his name. What is he in?
Clu
How else do I know him?
He is in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that connection. That's okay. My bad.
He's also the father of John Gulager, who directed Feast, and Clu is also in Feast.
I got to rewatch. That was the Project Green Light. Project Green.
Something. Yep. Project Green Light. Because I was doing, I don't know, research for some other video, and then I came across a producer that I recognized in like the video footage that then I had to be like, wait, why do I recognize them so much? And it's because they were a producer on Project Greenlight. So I saw them speaking so much from that.
No shit. Well, I've caught it before, but I missed obviously Gulger. How did I say his name?
Clu Gulager.
That's such a weird name, dude. I'm sorry. What the hell is Clu Gulager? But I always have loved that Ron's dad is Ferris Bueller's dad. I'm all about is it Lyman Ward?
Well, I mean, also, Grady himself, Weird Science.
Yeah. He's Mr. Iron Man, Ron Edward Jr.'s sidekick.
Yeah, which I always get a kick out of.
Yeah, we had 2 John Hughes people in a nightmare movie. That's awesome.
Yeah, like anytime I see him, that's because Weird Science I saw it very, very
Weird
young.
Science is better than, Weird Science is higher.
What? How?
You're saying Weird Science is not better than Nightmare on Elm Street 2? Are you being sarcastic? I can't tell. I was like, are you weird?
Dude, Weird Science is like top tier John Hughes.
I know.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is not near top tier John Hughes. I feel like our prior 50 minutes of talking would have given you that indicator.
I just want to, I'm sure that there's people out there that they're like big horror fans that like aren't digging John Hughes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I do remember, I don't fit in this group as much as the people do. So, I'm not in heavy metal music. Like I like other stuff. So it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, we're saying what I think is obvious, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's out there's like, no, man, no, the John Hughes is lame. Like Freddy 2, that's so cool. Which is fine if you dig that. I'm saying it mostly because I think we might not have the general opinion. I could be wrong.
No, I get that.
But I'm also a giant weird science guy and a giant John Hughes guy. I don't know if the whole world is, or if the horror genre agrees with us, but you and me on the same page. I apologize. I didn't mean to question you. I just thought I was saying a safe bet.
No, I'm massive Weird Science fan, and so that's top tier. This is my low entry next. Obviously we'll get when we get into our rankings at the end of this franchise, but this is definitely gonna be near the bottom. So spoilers.
Quick question for you, because this is something that I remember people complained about, but I might like it more. Now, they hinted that the boiler room in the first one was at the school. Am I correct in that?
I think just because of her walking in, like she walks to it. I've always assumed that it was the school, but.
And this changes it to like a factory. Now, I think in terms of logical sense, I like this more because him killing kids in the basement of school just seems like a risky thing to do. Even in the 80s, it's not like early serial killers. That was like the 70s, right? Maybe even late 60s, 70s.
No.
So to me, it's like, no, going out to the middle of some industrial plant in the basement, I liked it a lot. But I know this is considered retconning the origins. This is the one retcon I actually agree with, and I wish was considered still. Like I don't like it being in the school. I like it being off campus. It makes more sense for a killer to do.
I don't know if they ever have it in the school again. We'd have to see. I know in the remake, it's definitely its own separate factory. I think it's its own separate thing in Freddy's Dead. So I think that they'd follow through. I think that.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, we'll see as we.
Yeah, it's been a while. I thought they went back because I thought my memory, it could be incorrect because it's been a while. I've held off on these for this exact reason, was that they went back to the school. But
we also always have to remember too that just because someone is dreaming at the school and might go to the boiler room, that doesn't mean that they could be going to the boiler room in a factory, like the boiler.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So it could easily be. But no, I haven't. Well, that's going to have to be something we keep an eye on as we watch the other entries.
I do like how they did here.
Yeah. I want to talk about the like foreplay scene. Then the Freddy's tongue comes out, to which Jesse like freaks the fuck out, and that's when we get the Grady scene, which I think is always funny. Like I love that transformation. Like the imagery of Freddy coming out of Jesse is awesome. Like between the hands and then like he opens his mouth and you can see the eye, even though you can tell it's
Yes.
a woman's eye.
I thought the same thing. It's like just the shape and the eyelashes alone.
Yep.
I was like, oh, Freddy's kind of cute.
Yeah, the eyelash. They said who it was. It may have. I think it was Rachel Talele. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Yeah.
I don't know. They said it had to be somebody small to fit into the thing.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I remember that from the Never Sleep Again doc because she was a producer on all of the films until directing Freddy's Dead. She like worked her way up.
The body horror stuff I love. The issue is just I wish it was like in the dream. It would make more sense. But no, the tongue thing's fun. He, obviously could have the same thing that happened to Ron with Lisa. She could just watch him. Dude, and he immediately like leaves her to go to the guy. So it's just funny that like you could have the same thing could happen. He could just hang out with her and like, hey, I'm so sorry things are weird. Watch me. It doesn't. But I like all that stuff. I like those elements a lot.
Did you notice that it's Freddy coming out of Jesse transformation in 2 back-to-back scenes? Because it happens with Grady, and then literally Jesse goes from Grady's bedroom to Lisa and transforms. Where it's like, what, why are we, what was deleted in between here? Or who didn't think through the fact that we're getting 2 transformations back to back? We don't need that.
Like essentially once he became Freddy at Grady's house, that was the transformation. That's it. We're done. Like it should be Freddy from now on.
Yeah. It makes no sense. Especially because it seems like it's setting up when it shows the mirror, it almost seems like it's going to be, Freddy's in control now. Freddy is like piloting Jesse's body. Nope. They just immediately go and it's like, Jesse just then goes through the exact same scene that he just had with Grady, which he left that party and Lisa to go be with Grady. So it's just everything about it is just weird. Like why would you then come back to Lisa? You already left once.
And going to Grady's house doesn't really make sense because Lisa is the one that sort of knows all the mythos, and she seems to at least believe in Freddy and have a thing. So it's like, then stay with her and have her watch you.
You would
think. It's a strange little add-on. Something that I maybe I'd noticed this time and always forget, but he throws a glove at the mirror, right, and breaks it, and then doesn't have the glove for the rest of the movie. Like his hand is the blades come out of his hand. And I was like, that's another thing that, again, in a dream, it'd be really fun, be really cool. But to have your last act, your last big thing with Freddy Krueger and not have the glove is such an odd thing for them to do. And again, years later, I could look back and find it interesting. I'm glad it happened. It's a cool little side quest. But man, in terms of Robert Shea being in charge of all this shit, like I'm really surprised he would let that go. Clearly he didn't realize the glove was so important, but it's like, dude, that's like the sweater and the hat that makes Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, you make
a third of the outfit, dude.
You give essentially the way to do that is it's in a dream. The victim gets a hold of Freddy's glove, like puts it on, and is like, it's like a "I got you" moment, where then Freddy's just like raises his hand. The blades come out and it's like, I don't need the glove.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm in control of this. This is my world.
Yeah. Like there's so many ways to do it, which just, they didn't, the route they actually took, not so great. What'd you think of
it's strange.
What do you think of the Freddy coming into the real world pool scene? Because this is where people hate this movie or are down for the weirdness.
So, as a Freddy movie, I hate it. I do, but it's a scene that I hate and I love. I hate it because it goes against everything that makes sense, and it really is shitty for Freddy. And I think it's Wes Craven from all the way down the line where people say to Robert Englund, probably putting Freddy around a bunch of tall teenagers makes him look weak, makes him look dumb.
Yeah,
he's too bright of lights. Even if they try to shit him a little, he's just the way he's acting and moving is so stupid. But there's also part of me that goes, yeah, but if I could just ignore all that, it's hilarious. He's like. Because he kills a couple kids, but a lot of it is him just like trashing shit.
Yeah,
like flip the table, like knocking stuff over, and I find that hilarious.
He's he's acting like a gremlin.
Yes, he's exactly a gremlin in the bar. Just like destroying stuff. He's more focused on like property destruction than he is the death of a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's hilarious.
I think one of the funniest shots is like the kids are all like cowering from Freddy, like up against a bush, and Freddy's like between them and the pool, and he's like doing this like weird like he won't stand tall. He keeps being hunched over, and he just like he throws a pool chair behind him, or it's like what you literally just want to cause destruction. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
Yeah,
it's there's wonderful. A scene a little like a few minutes earlier when he's like fighting with Lisa on the ground, and she's like kicking him. He's like reaching for the same energy, which is like do something. Like he's just like looking intimidating, but he's not actively doing anything. He's not stabbing anybody with his glove.
No,
which is his weapon here, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, or I guess it's in his hand, but he has knives in his fingers. He stabs one dude, and that's it. The rest is just he slashes one guy, and he kind of just sort of seems to try to block people.
Yeah. Oh, you're not getting away. It's like he's playing tag. That's his body language. Is, ooh, I'm gonna get you.
Red Rover. He's Red Rovering the kids for sure.
Yep.
We do get the cool line with the fire though, where he's like, you're all my children now. I do like that.
Yes.
But then a part of me is like, wait a second. So the grill is not connected to like a propane tank. It's connected to a gas line that goes to all the way to the house, like all the way back there.
Well,
I'm not trying to be logical.
I don't think we can even. I think he's using his dream powers, because there's the one person that goes up to the gate, like tries to get the gate. And, no, there's fire. Like, because they're trying to go up the fence, and like
the actual like the fence thing,
and then it drops down, and then there's fire where it comes up from where they drop down. I don't think that's like any gas line. I think it's just Freddy using his dream powers in the real world. Just like how he fucking he just like pops out from the ground like he's Rey Mysterio. I don't know. There's ways for them to have done that and have it work, and it'd
be so tough. I know. I don't think you like the scene, but in Freddy versus Jason, or Freddy versus Jason. I think I always say first. Freddy versus Jason, the cornfield party thing. That's a version of Jason, but I think Jason could be put in better light and do stuff like that. And it does come off as weird because Freddy isn't necessarily a fighter as much as he's just more of a manipulator and uses reality to torture you. So seeing him just sort of bare and exposed, having to sort of use his body to kill is stupid.
Yeah.
But also great because it's stupid.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he doesn't say it, but he's essentially going, boo, boo, boo,
yeah,
boo.
Hey.
Like he's trying to be like a Halloween maze scare person.
You ever watch at SNL? There was Christopher Walken had this ongoing skit. I think it was the Continental. I don't know. He was like this douchey guy in a penthouse, and he had this accent. It was always POV from a woman's perspective. And he always tried to sleep with them, and they always tried to leave. And he always would like kind of jump from the door and like do like a little like block. Like, no, stay. Like, I feel like I get that vibe from this. Like, Freddy's just like, hey, oh, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He definitely has that vibe. What do you think about them essentially doing what I said earlier, where it's, oh, well, Lisa becomes our lead, but it's a little too late?
Yeah, I hate this ending a lot. I like her, and I think there's cool shot. There's a wide shot I paused actually at 1:12:50 where it's this big thing, and she's like it's like a wide shot of this whole factory, and she's walking. Like, I think the setting was cool, but they don't do anything. They basically just have her like tell Freddy that she loves Jesse. There's some stupid dogs with the mask in the front, and then the movie's over.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't know. It's just I feel like this really reeks of like ran out of money, or they didn't know how to end it, and they just kind of wrapped it up. I mean, at every ending of these movies, I think is fun in some aspect. And I could grade them on a scale. This is the absolute worst ending. I'm not counting the remake. I'm counting fucking 1 through 7 or 5. Yeah, right. Is that official?
Yeah, 7 is
nothing happens here. They have such a cool setting. They're clearly in a real place. Obviously before green screen, blue screen was used like exclusively, and nothing happens. What, you weren't a big fan of the dogs? The rodent? No, the dogs are stupid.
That's your theory of them running out of money right there.
Yeah.
It was acknowledged by the special effects team. They didn't have any money, so they this concept of Freddy having the hounds of hell, it's like it was supposed to be much more actually scary, but instead, not so much.
I'm surprised they kept it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of movies we watch where like they have an idea.
Easy to cut.
And it never, just cut it. Yeah. Then there's like the rodent, the gerbil, which I'm like, what is that in there for either?
Just weird imagery.
Like, I guess she's a girl. She's a girl and she's scared of mice. I mean, I don't know what the point is there. But nothing happens. I don't know.
There's
been really like heartbroken.
There's something I like in this that now the more that I know with just cinematography and filmmaking, that then it's a positive and a negative, where I really like some of the lighting in the final scene. Like there's some reds, some greens. However, the issue though is that like they don't have enough of it. It's always in like one spot. And then if the camera moves, suddenly it's like, oh, the lighting isn't there anymore. Even that one shot that you like, the wide shot of the factory, it's just like a little corner that's like red, where the rest of it, it's like, you're not going to light up more of this in red and that Freddy red? Because as is, it just kind of looks lame.
Freddy at this point. Yeah, no, and you're right though, because it's like, all you need is a bright light and a bounce board.
Yeah. And
maybe they're doing it just because it's like every time they shoot Freddy, it's like, well, but it doesn't make sense because we're in the real world anyway. So just light the fucking factory cool and call it a day.
Yeah.
Lighting. You don't need to be like, well, it's Freddy. It represents Freddy and Jesse's, polarization. It's like, don't do that to me.
Lighting's just always a big, especially back in this era, lighting was just a big, like that was a lot of money for decent lighting.
Yes, I get it.
I mean, hell, you hated the My Bloody Valentine mine scenes, where it's just like, those are the only lights that they could use safely in the mine. So sometimes it's just practicality. But I was gonna say I like Lisa's acting in it. Like Lisa's acting is good. She actually feels.
Yeah, no, I said earlier, there is some clunkiness to it, but I could tell it's a script and not her. Mm-hmm. She does a great job. I mean, she cries well. She's freaking out. She kisses Jesse. Like all of it, she does well. It's stupid. It's stupid. But in the end, which I think is even the documentary. I think they made a good point. Like the movie's like super gay and like kind of positive, and then it's like a woman sets him free.
Yeah. He couldn't even do it himself. Which
it's like that.
Even too his death. It just doesn't feel as well thought out as the other ones.
No, it doesn't make sense because she just kisses him and then Jesse comes out of the body. But also, and I hate using logic like this, but Jesse killed Ron.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this doesn't protect him from all the murders. It doesn't redo it. There's not an ending to where the first movie ends in a way that it switches it up and says it never happened. This is actually saying it all happened. And this one kid murdered a bunch of people and then survived. So how do we reconcile that? We don't have the twist,
Yeah, it's I think they try to make up for it with the end. Like this is them trying to do it. The first film's ending is what they're doing with this whole bus ride. It's them.
Yeah, that's a good point, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we know that that's obviously like the first movie, just a lie, right? I mean,
yeah. But they also, I think they play off that expectation that it's like, oh, you think it's going to be, this is going to be like it. They purposely hide the bus driver, but they make sure the bus driver has a similar like haircut to Robert Englund. So there's that carryover of like, oh, it's Freddy driving the bus again. So then then Jesse freaks out and you discover that, no, it's not. So it gives you that moment where you're like, oh, actually, they must actually be free. And then they do the stupidest thing that makes no sense of any movie where the Freddy's glove just comes out of that one girl's chest and credits. It's like, wait, what? I'm okay with it if it's a dream, that's fine. But if this is more real world stuff, then no, thank you.
Yeah, it's the ending's lame. Even when I came. I shouldn't say cross. When I came to the side of like enjoying this finally, the ending is the one thing that I've never given ground on. I used to hate it. I enjoyed the movie now. As a non-Freddy movie, it's fun. The ending still sucks.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. Just as its own entity, if it didn't exist with any Freddy movie, I still think this ending is lame.
No, I completely agree. I mean, the film ends at under 1 hour and 23 minutes. Like, that's when credits.
Yeah, it's 27 with credits, right?
Yeah, 127 with credits. Like, that's insane. Or it might be even 126. Yeah, it's 126 with credits. So
That's 26.
like that's a light movie. So I think that they definitely ran out of money and they weren't able to do quite as much as they wanted.
I get it.
I mean, yeah, this came out in 1985, so they very much rushed this one because first Elm Street was 84. So what would you rate the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 Freddy's Revenge?
It's tough because I will admit this time, this last rewatch that I just did with it, I didn't have as much fun. I do think maybe I just was not in the right mood. So I don't want to really harken it too badly, but I would say if we're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street not extravagance, what's this? A watch,
Franchise
right? A series watch. Sorry. I just like the word extravagance. I'm using all the time. Franchise watch. I'll try to keep it in that and say it's still probably my least favorite. And maybe it'll change after we finish this off. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not counting the remake. I really never count that. I just count the OG Robert Englund movies. So I'd probably say 2 because I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's bad. I'd still like to own it. I'd still watch it. I've had more fun at other times. So maybe if I'm like hanging out drinking with you and we're watching it, or smoke a little pot, I think there could be more enjoyment. But just as like a sober Nightmare rewatch, I just it is what it is. So 2 out of 4.
No, I'm right there with you. I think 2 makes sense. I think that I probably went down slightly from my prior watch, but I think the last time I watched this was with the fresh context of Scream Queen. So I think that helps because you're just watching it in a different way. Meanwhile, we're literally watching it in the context of just a Nightmare on Elm Street entry. So it doesn't work in that way. And I'm glad that it didn't like bomb the franchise enough that we still were able to get more. But obviously I'm glad. Could you imagine if like people really took to this version of Freddy and like this is what we got the rest of the series?
No, it'd be bad for us because then it would be one of those movies where I'd have to be like, oh, like Tremors pretty much, where it's like I like the first one, don't really like anything else.
Yep. It's like, yep,
and there's people like, oh my God, I love them.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, feel like we've pretty much covered it. We've gone through Freddy's Revenge, and now next week we have Dream Warriors. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on Instagram, Spotify, any Apple Podcasts. We also have a Patreon where you can get 2 bonus episodes a month. And we are working out the kinks with our merch store. It went up and then we got taken down due to some issues. So hopefully that will be up quickly and we'll be able to take care of that. We're a big fan of some of our shirt designs and you guys can check those out. Even if they aren't up, we'll have a post on the Instagram page showing off what you can expect from that merch drop. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and we will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.